What's up guys, Nolan here, and if you remember the game Gray Zone Warfare, actually hasn't been that long, but you probably remember most clickbait artists out there calling it the next Tarkov for it, that then, kind of flop on the initial early access release. Lots of little bugs and performance issues, which none of us Tarkov or Arma people are new to, but the gameplay itself was rather stale without the risk of constant PvP, which is again something that us Tarkov and Arma people are used to, which is fighting AI all the time. That's all good, but every once in a while it'd be nice to have to worry about something else popping up, aka players. Not to mention, if you wanted specifically to fight players, there really wasn't a consistent way of doing that. The devs got the picture after their first major update didn't go too well and reached out for proper feedback. A handful of community members responded, and they listened. They listened a lot. Actually, some would say they listened to everything. They ended up switching up their priorities and roadmap to focus on PvP and player gameplay loops first. I'll name a few off here, and if you're interested, check out the live stream VOD below for gameplay as of the recording of this video. I don't have the gameplay. I have a bunch of marketing materials they ended up sending out, but I will be taking part in a developer stream to showcase some of this gameplay and even publicly play some of it for the first time, which if you are watching this video within a couple hours of me posting it, the stream could still be going, so check it out. If not, the VOD will be the same link, so go check it out. I'll have a secondary post of whatever happened during this event and whatever gameplay I got from it soon enough. So stay tuned for that. Now for the information we do have right now, there's a lot. There's plenty. For starters, they not only added more landing zones for helicopters 2 patches ago, they intend to add a whole new spawning system this coming patch with the COP system, aka Combat Outpost, aka Capture, Occupy, Protect. Each faction will be able to take and hold small outposts scattered around the map in order to gain new spawn points similar to the larger FOBs from before. Now, LZs are not going anywhere. LZs will still be there, but if you own a COP, you can choose to spawn at the closest COP when you end up getting killed, as opposed to having to go back to the FOB and take a helicopter all the way back. But unlike the large FOBs, you can and will take over these COPs for extra rewards and spawns, adding an element of attack and defend, actually useful territory around the map. There's also PvP zones. Each time a fight breaks out between players, you will see a dynamic ping on the map with a circle showing their general location to be able to go help or just get your hands dirty. Fighting within these zones gets you extra rewards. So not only is there something that you can constantly fight other factions, aka players, for with the cops, if there just so happens to be another fight outside of a cop or of a different POI, you will know about it and be able to go and take part. And on top of that, get rewarded for doing it. If there's no cop nearby, or if you're worried about someone camping your LZs, let's just say there's something rather explosive in terms of options that you now have at your disposal to take care of that issue. Now they're pushing to get this done, but there's a chance it doesn't make it into this patch at initial release, but they will eventually add mortar strikes that you can call in at will. So if you're heading to a particularly hot LZ, or if you don't just quite trust it, you can pay to have the mortars clear the area for you right before you land. There's a possibility in the future to enhance this as well with flares or smoke, but we'll have to see what happens with the HE rounds first. So between the cops, the mortars, the added LZs, any issues around getting to your point of interest, getting to your mission, getting to the fight should be subsided with this. Speaking of missions, there's a new task system in the works with the ability to turn in and accept new tasks away from the main base, as well as real-time location-based side tasks that can pop up whenever, wherever you are on the map for extra rewards. Some of these will only be accessible to squads of 4 as squad activities. These are much more difficult, but much more rewarding. For anybody that's wondering if there is going to be insurance, yes, don't worry. I'm not, I'm not blind to all the similarities to Tarkov. The way that I see this stuff is that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's a subject for another day. But honestly, with the map-to-map travel stuff that we're seeing with Tarkov, I don't think we're going to be ever getting open world over there, while these guys are starting with open world. Something that I have really always wanted in Escape from Tarkov. I wanted that feeling of not knowing what's around a corner. Whereas these days, with the way the spawns work, you know exactly what's around that corner 30 seconds to 5 minutes into a map, which is something that really threw me off at the beginning with the way that the LZs worked with this game. But now we've got more LZs, we've got cops, we've got these mortar strikes. They're doing some cool stuff. But anyway, I digress. Again, if you are wondering if there's any kind of insurance setup or anything like that? Not quite. You're going to have to work for it some more. The devs have added a tag system. You can tag essentially anything in the game. Any item that you own that can be looted, you can put a tag on it, which will show you exactly where that item is on the map. Now, if you get killed, the player looting you will also, if they actually look for it, be able to see that there is a tag on that item, and they will know that you will know where that item is. So now it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to go and find that item, knowing that that person may have not looted it, dropped it, or are they setting it up as a trap for you? Some pretty crazy gameplay that can come up with that for people that want the PvP. If you want to specifically go after PvP, go hunt the guy that got you. And in case you're wondering, of course, there's a way to get rid of it. If you end up selling the item, of course, the tag goes away. But if you end up storing it back at your fob for a specific amount of time, we're actually not sure how long, but a certain amount of time, it will get rid of the tag. The tag, I guess, will run out of battery or something. Some of you might have played the last update where they added nighttime operations and equipment, including, of course, NVGs. Well, if you did, most of us Tarkov vets didn't end up really needing the NVGs because of the full moon's lighting. This update, they've added weather patterns where the rain and even just cloud cover creates up to full dark situations. That's going to make even Batman want NVGs. The rain will also have an effect on the map where certain portions will flood, your equipment will act differently, and your travels may be affected in some way, which we'll see more of in-game. They've improved damage and health mechanics. You can gut shot someone now. There's proper stun effects and headshot dynamics where you can also get knocked down. You could always get knocked down, but in this case, if you get knocked down, where if you stay down or if you're unconscious, the Mad Lads added dragging. You will be able to now drag a wounded or unconscious friendly to safety before patching them up. Speaking of friendlies, they've added client-side, technically, arm and headbands, like what you see in combat footage in Ukraine. Unlike Tarkov, though, only friendlies will see it. So if you see someone wearing the arm or headband or both, that is a friendly player. End of story. Anybody not wearing a headband or armband, kill them. There's also some map and radio reminders that will pop up to notify you when friendlies are close. Then last, but most certainly not least, there will be private servers for a select few community members in the future, of which I am thankful to say that I am one. The private servers can have unique rule sets, such as skipping story content to fast forward to the endgame, unlocking traders, giving you gear, giving you money. The craziest part, though, is that you can turn off all of the AI and make up your own events with PvP only, and because the AI won't be affecting the server memory, the player amount shoots up to over 100. They're going to test this and push the limits to see what exactly is possible, but it will, from the get-go, be at least what they said, 126 players. I will be doing a custom server for weekend wars. Over the span of a weekend, each faction fights over cops, and the faction with the most by the end of the weekend wins. At least that's the idea that I have so far. If you're interested in taking part, stay tuned to my Discord or Twitter or both. I'll make plenty of announcements about it. We might get some other content creators involved, which you would know. Got some really cool ideas. This is a really cool system, and they're doing some pretty cool stuff in the game. So I'm excited. They're excited. This is going to happen. Stay tuned for more on that if you want to get involved. And the hopes is this drives player activity up significantly to the base game, of course, to which by the end of the year, there will be a couple more updates around the lore, as well as new locations in game. And that's what we got for now. I feel like I don't even need to say anything else. If you guys are fans of any of the games that I have covered here on the channel, you should have gotten the picture that this is truly something special and could be a lot of fun with this open world faction system they've put together in Gray Zone. Now that's if they can hold solid performance, which with this update, I truly believe this will be one of my favorite shooters of the year if that is something that they can do. Because in case you guys didn't know, I've talked about this on stream before, I'm not going to lie, even with my PC setup, I was having issues last patch. That's why you never saw an update from me on it. I jumped on the other day. They seemed to have solved those issues. And there were actually a bunch of people on the server, so that was cool to see. However, all that new stuff that I mentioned before, that is yet to be seen. Luckily, we won't have much of a wait. Like I said, we'll be live playing this on stream as this video goes live. So if you're watching this a couple hours after it ends up on the channel, we might still be over there. Check out the link below. Otherwise, you'll see the VOD, and I will post my own video on this whole process on everything that's been happening later. But that's all for now, guys. Support the channel through subscribing, like if you did, comment if you didn't, share with a friend if both. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a nice day. See you guys.